Adam Christ for MyMMAnews.com, and I am being joined by my man Jake Kelly. He has taken on Justin Granger at Gut Check Championship Series. It goes down in just a couple of days, May 20th, at the Greater Boys and Girls Club of Bear, Delaware. You can catch it exclusively at Fight Club Live TV. That is FCLTV.com. First and foremost, my man is right here with his fresh cup of coffee after a fine run. Jake Kelly, good
Yes, sir.
morning to you. How are you?
Morning, Adam. I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic, man. Like I said, I'm gonna get my run after this chat, but we're both up and operating early on a Sunday morning. You couldn't ask for anything better. It's gorgeous out.
Absolutely. And happy Mother's Day to every mother out there. Most
Absolutely
important
happy
in the
Mother's Day.
world.
Absolutely. So Operation Fighting, it's back in full swing. I mean, sheesh, you just put on a hell of a performance just 2 months ago. Now you're right back at it, May 20th. All of this quite after a little bit of a hiatus. So where did that gear switch first and foremost that you wanted to take over the kickboxing realm again, back at undefeated, instead of just dominating shit?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up doing it. My older brother, Zach, I mean, he's a legend. He's a vet in the area. And I had some other things that I wanted to learn how to do, some things that I wanted to set up for my future, going to school, learning how to make clothes, the whole business side of everything. So I kind of had to make the tough decision to step away from kickboxing, something that I loved. I had to step away for a couple years just so I could get an understanding of, like I said, what I wanted to do for my future. But then I came to like a personal crossroads in my life, and I was like, well, everything that I went to school for and that I moved across the country to learn how to do, I learned how to do. And then I started training at a gym out in California, and I told myself, I was like, I really want to see where I'm at, skill wise, cardio wise, mental wise, all of that. So the first class that I went to, the first day I went to the gym, it was their sparring day. And what happens in the gym stays in the gym, but I got to say, I did pretty well. And then after that day, trained for maybe 3 months out there, and then made the decision to move back home, start training full time again at Gracie 717, and just wanted to get in the ring as soon as I could.
So suffice to say, you didn't have the proper sparring partners out there to get you trained formally for a fight. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah, and I mean, when you grow up with something like, so I first started training at MBJ in Delaware with Greg Pritchett, and you have that type of skill level and that knowledge of the game, and then I'm with my brother through everything, so I get to see his knowledge and skill, and then alongside Christian Carr, and even I mean guys that just do it for fun, guys that are maybe having their first fight soon, or guys that have had multiple fights. It was just the skill level. I had to like it's I didn't realize the skill level that I was around because I was just always around it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then once you kind of go into another environment and you just see where everybody's at, I'm not trying to talk down on another gym or anyone I was training with, but it's just when you're around a certain type of skill and that's what you're used to, and then you go somewhere else and see where those people are at. I don't know. It's like, why would I put myself in that situation when I know where something better is? I always want the best for myself, so why not put myself in the best situation?
Yeah, you're almost doing a disservice to yourself putting yourself in that situation. So couldn't
Yeah.
agree with you more. And going on with what you were saying with your brother Zach, a legend in the area, he was initially supposed to
Mhm.
headline this card. Unfortunately, he had to pull out. We wish him all the best, obviously, but Zach is a professional, wealth of wisdom for you to learn from. And
Absolutely.
with him being such a solid mold to learn from, I got to ask. I know you have things set right in front of you, but do you see yourself potentially following those footsteps and turning pro? Obviously down the road, but is professional fighting of any interest in you? Because you and Zach are head and head as far as talent
Mhm.
goes, and both fantastic fighters. So I just
Yeah.
can't help but think, is Jake going to be the next one?
Potentially. I mean, it's something that has always been in my mind, and I feel like it's always been an option for me, but I just have a lot of things that I'm focused on. Like I have, this fight this weekend. I'm going to be competing at nationals, WK nationals at the end of August. I plan to win that to then go on to the world championships at the end of the year. I've really been setting a goal for myself. I want to go train in Thailand next year. That's something I've always wanted to do. My brother's always talked about it. So I'm just reading a lot about different gyms in different places and all the different areas, saving some money. So that's something I want to do, and still working on making clothes, building that business up and that brand. So it's a possibility, something that's in my mind, but I'm really just kind of taking it. I have like my 1 month goal, 3 month goal, 12-month goal. I don't know. I'm kind of thinking of it in that sense. If it
I love it.
comes, the opportunity comes, that's where I'm at. I mean, I'll never say no to fighting someone.
I love it. Let's revert back to the task at hand. Justin Granger, your opponent on May 20th. What do you know about him as a fighter? I mean, have you been around him as far as like at the fights? Have you seen him compete? Or where's your level of gauging of knowledge of him?
I've never seen him compete in person. I've seen some clips that the gym shares on Instagram. I have seen his last fight. He had a fight within the past maybe month or 2 months. I got to see that fight online. Uh, Pretty good understanding. Southpaw, big dude, strong dude. Um, yeah, but we have a good game plan. I've been talking with my brother a lot, been talking with Christian a lot. And like we just said, both of them have a ton of experience and I trust them with
Mhm.
anything. The game plan that I get to set up with them, the things that we talk about, victorious.
And obviously, we live in an internet savvy world. As you were just saying, I mean, you can look up your opponent just a click away. Now, I'm curious as far as your perspective, do you spend a lot of time investing your homework and looking at your opponents? Do you let your coaches do that? Or is it just like more focus on what Jake Kelly has to do? How does that game planning operation go? Not asking for the game plan, just asking for that operation of planning.
Absolutely. I definitely, I like to get an understanding of my opponent and who I'm going against. And I'm not the type of person who it's like when I wake up, the first thing I do is I go to their Instagram or I watch their last fight and I do it 50 times a day. I've watched his last fight a handful of times. I have a pretty good understanding of what happens every round in most exchanges, how they went. Um, I definitely share it with Christian. I share it with my brother. I know my brother's his fight IQ is just incredible. So I know he's watched the fight 100 times and he knows when they're going to step left. He knows when they're going to step right. He knows all of that. But something else that I've been doing a lot recently, I mean, I started reading a lot more. I used to when I was growing up, but I kind of started getting back into that again. And I just recently finished The Art of War by Sun Tzu. And just a quote that really stuck out to me from that book was, know yourself, know your enemy, fear not the outcome of 100 battles. So I definitely do my homework on the opponent because if I know who I'm going against, I see their skills, I see who they are as a fighter, as a person. I clearly know who I am. I know my skills. I know who I am as a person. I could never be scared. I know what I'm getting myself into. I know the battle that's ahead of me, and I'm prepared.
Your conditioning, just knowing you throughout the years, it's on another level. I don't think I've ever seen you get tired in the ring. I'm pretty sure I've seen most, if not all, of your fights. But can you just take us through a typical training day of Jake Kelly? Because I'm just curious. The gas
Yeah,
tank, it stays full.
has to. That's what a professional does.
Exactly.
It's always driven me crazy. Even when you're watching, if you're watching UFC, for example, and someone's in just a normal fight, 3 rounds, 15 minutes, and people are gassed by the second round. It's like that's your job. You're a professional. You are on national TV. You're putting this all on the line. You've dedicated your life to it, and you're getting tired. Like that. That's just never. It's never sat well with me. So I mean, a typical day for me is just wake up, go to work from 8 to 4:30. From there, straight to Gracie 717. I like to get there about an hour early. Get changed, get my hands wrapped, get a nice stretch in, do about 4 or 5 3-minute rounds on the bag with 15-second rest in there, just as hard and as fast as I can, working specific combos. After that, have an hour-long kickboxing class. And then after class, again, I'll do another 3 to 5 rounds on the bag. After that, I'll head to the gym on the way home. And 3 days out of the week, I'll run for 20 minutes on the treadmill. And then I have a lifting circuit that I do. And then the other 3 days out of the week, I'll run for 30 minutes and then just do like a real long, real slow full body stretch.
Mm.
And then, like this morning, I wake up, I'll go for a run if I'm not sparring that day. But the past couple weeks, or the past few months for my last fight and for this fight, Saturday mornings, the group of us from the gym, we've been going up to Algeo MMA in King of Prussia. So Sunday through Friday, I run 20 to 30 minutes every day. And then Saturdays just, I'll get anywhere from 8 to 12, 13, 14 rounds of sparring with guys up there. So it's all about just pushing yourself. You have to get yourself in that place where it's like, damn, I'm tired, but you always need to push through because if I run for 30 minutes on a treadmill, my fight is only 6 minutes and I get a minute rest in between. So I'm doing 5 fights on the treadmill. Or if I'm doing rounds on the bag, my rounds are only 2 minutes, but I'll do 3 rounds on the bag and I get a minute rest in my fight, but I'll only take a 15-second rest in between rounds on the bag. So it's all about just, in my opinion, about doing the activity for longer than you're going to do it in the fight and taking a shorter rest than you're going to get in the fight. Because then you're just used to that mind state, the physical state, everything like that.
Now, one thing I didn't hear you mention in all of that, that sounds like a plethora of work that you're putting in. But the times where you and Zach are in his basement and doing the pad work and you guys just working together, you have to sprinkle that into that. Those days, it seems like, is that just what do you call that? Just looking for something to do. It's just that's just what you guys do.
Yeah.
If that makes
Yeah.
any sense, it's
I
hey Zach, what do you feel like doing? I don't know. You want to go hit some pads? Yeah, fuck it.
yeah.
Type of energy.
It's, I don't know how most people are with their brothers or their siblings, but Zach and I, that's something that's always been our bond. Even before we started training or anything, we're always just wrestling or fucking around in the house, fighting each other. But, when he started training and then I started going to his fights and I started training, that was something that brought us together and brought us closer than we were before that. And I mean, he has all the experience, like I keep saying, and he was a coach and out of any sport, and I'll say this even unbiasedly, like he's the best coach I've ever had. His knowledge of the game, and then how much he could talk to a room full of soccer moms and fighters and make everybody understand what's going on, or how he could talk to a soccer mom individually or someone getting ready for a professional fight individually. And both those people, it's going to be catered to them. Like he doesn't know so much about the game. So he made a comment to me a little while ago that he wanted to start working his boxing more, and I said, me too. It's kickboxing, but if I could just focus on one thing with you and get better at that, I'd love to get better as well. So he just got some equipment in his basement that he was using on his off days, and then I started going over, and he started getting more equipment, and now. I mean, in his basement at his house, he has a full boxing gym. He has multiple stations, all this ton of equipment we could use. It looks like a Rocky gym. He's got all memorabilia from the 15 years that he's been fighting, pictures of all the different fights he's been at.
That's awesome.
So it's been great. A lot of work. I feel like my hands have gotten so much better, faster, stronger. I've gotten way more confident just in my hands. Like there's certain rounds of sparring that I'll have. I'll be like, all right, no kicks. I'll check a kick, or maybe if I'm trying to work teep kicks or I'm trying to work a certain type of kick, just throw that. But I'm not going to rely on just a jab leg kick or a 2-3 leg kick. I'm mainly going to work hands, and I'll let everyone else can throw whatever they want to throw. But that's something I've really been trying to work on and big level up.
When did that new edition start? You and Zach primarily focusing on leveling up the boxing because I mean your kicks, Jesus.
Yeah, maybe probably a little bit before my last fight. I know Zach he's had like a heavy bag and a slip rope, and he's had a double end bag in his basement for a little while now that he's been working with. But I know I really started taking it serious maybe in like this past January, and then before my last fight in March, going in with him 2 days a week, doing the circuit and then doing the pad work. But then after my last fight, we really just kicked it up another gear. There's everything more intense. Like I said, he's gotten more equipment and we've been catering the combos more. Like I said, been watching film. Okay, maybe we'll just throw these two or three more combos in the circuit so we could work those, and really just been just more focus. Like I've come to learn focus is the most important thing. You listen to all these successful people talk, Elon Musk, they all talk about focus. Like you have a goal, you need to focus more than anything. Just block out everything, kick out everything that doesn't matter, anything that's distracting you, like get it out of the way, and you just need to focus. And you do that, you will accomplish the task at hand. And on 520, I'm gonna be 5-0. That's the task at hand, and we're gonna accomplish that.
5-0 on 520. That is the task at hand. So I got to ask, do you have a bold prediction for that date? It is right around the corner. Bold prediction from Jake Kelly. How do you go 5-0 that evening?
I'm looking for a finish. It's going to be my fifth fight. I've never lost a round in any of my fights. I've always won 30-27 unanimous decisions. But man, I've just been putting in so much work. I've been lifting, I've been running, I've been doing extra work at the gym, doing extra work with my brother. I'm going in there looking for a finish. I want it so bad. I want to get a finish before nationals in August. My confidence is at an all-time high. My skills feel like they're at an all-time high, and I just want to go in there and put on a performance for everybody.
And final stanza I leave to the fighters to shout out any sponsor, social media, so the fans can keep up with your ventures. And also make sure you hit them with the Jake Kelly clothing line while you're at it. Hit them, Jake.
Absolutely. First and foremost, shout out my brother Zach. Shout out Christian Carr. Everyone at Gracie 717. Just the long hours, the hard work we're all putting in. And if you guys want to follow and keep up with me on Instagram and Twitter, you could follow me at Jake Kelly with 4 underscores. And then on Instagram, if you want to look at my clothes, look at the work that I'm doing, jakekelly.design.
Awesome, Jake. It's been years in the making, man. I've known your family for a long time. I love the Kelly family. I cannot wait to announce yet again another Jake Kelly fight. So just a couple days again. Can't wait to see you, my brother. We'll see each other soon. And best of luck on fight night.
Thank you, man. I'll see you soon. Thank you.
There he goes, Jake Kelly. He's taking on Justin Granger at Gut Check Championship Series. It's going down just a couple days away, May 20th at the Greater Boys and Girls Club of Bear, Delaware. Make sure you get your tickets. If you don't have them, just a couple tickets remaining. I don't know what you're waiting for, so get them. But if you cannot get tickets, tune in live exclusively at Fight Club Live TV. That is FCLTV.com.